moment, please.
Technical difficulties, which
I hijack.
yeah, no, we're great.
And your pants are the same.
The pinks, yeah, we have the Valentine's Day special today. GM, we're just getting started. We are so excited. We're trying to figure out all the intricacies of everything happening behind us.
And then where am I supposed to look? Here?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
multiple.
And so we have 9 streams going on right now. So we'll say hi to everybody, and we'll just post them in we also have coffee happening in the background. So if anybody's in our area in St. Petersburg, come on down to Underground Coffee Shop at 1701 Central.
1799.
1799 Central. Isn't the whole building?
I don't know. But
Okay, 1799. Okay, got it. I didn't.
So good.
It's so good. I've got my vanilla latte.
Yeah,
She's
I got
her
matcha.
Cheers to that. We have a ton of special guests today. Really happy that we've got a full send today. And we're on the abstract stream. So if anyone's here, GM, we see you. So this is the crypto chat right here. So we'll pay attention to that as well for all of the folks that are coming in and they want to have questions. So we'll let the chat warm up for 5 minutes here. Just get everyone in. We hear folks saying good morning. We have amazing people that are on today. And I know you like to have your name spelled very specifically. Vandana. Yes. So good. And I go by Blue. So Blue Eye Queen.
Yes, I see your lovely blue eye.
The Blue Eye Queen. We've got folks in the background that might maybe want to say hi. I don't know. You see the guy that was just chilling. He's like, what are these two doing over there? No. All right, awesome. So we'll get our abstract community on. We'll let them know abstract chain. We are just getting started. Come see us. Happy Valentine's Day.
Nobody. There was somebody.
Okay. They'll probably pop on, I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to get things rolling and things in motion. And we've got lots of activity here. It's our first IRL podcast. And it's Valentine's Day as well. So we're going to see lots of fun things happening. You want to say hi, everybody?
Sure. Hey, guys. I'm Vandana. It's so great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, we're going to have some fun things that we're going to put on some of these halo crowns. We've got to get to the halo crown as well. And oh, good. Yes, amazing. So let's kick off the podcast. I'm going to get everyone started here with
complete now.
Where we have the Valentine's, the coffee, the people, the energy. We're doing it. It's a funny story, actually, how the two of us connected. I had reached out in a ladies group on Facebook and had said, I'm looking for some podcast folks to join us on the panel. And we started chatting a little bit more. And then one day she sent me an email and she said, hey, I recognize your
artwork is in the gym where I teach yoga. Like I teach the yoga studio within the gym. And her artwork is everywhere. And I was like, God, that looks really familiar. And then I read the back of it. It had your name and stuff. And I was like, it's you. We're meant to be together. We're meant to connect.
Yeah, divine intervention. That is so cool. It was like the energies brought us here. And so this is our first IRL podcast. So we'll be taking some breaks where we're just pausing the mic so that you don't get any of the background noises. And we're just going to try to work with all of the different things that are running around behind us. But as you can see, chaos is fun and it makes things more interesting. And yeah, that's what's going to be great about that. And so let's first kick it off by getting one of our special guests on the stage today so that we can bring her into this Q&A. Because what I think is what we'll do is we'll do a rotating Q&A. So we'll ask our ladies questions at the same time. We'll each direct questions to each so that we can all feel engaged and we can make this a fun environment. And we also have the chat going as well with questions coming in. So things might be just very casual and authentic, so no rush there. So without further ado, let's bring up Caitlin and have her say hello and happy Valentine's Day to you.
Hi, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. So excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Amazing. You're looking gorgeous. Love those headphones. Which ones are you wearing? Are those gamers?
These are Beats.
Yeah, we have a huge world of the online. It's called The Other Side. So there's over 100,000 plots of land in The Other Side. It's a company I used to work for. It's called Yuga Labs. So a lot of the people that tune in, they always have like those headphones like what you're wearing. And it's just, yeah, you're fitting right into this crew today.
That's so funny.
Okay, so we're gonna get us started. It's Valentine's Day. We're feeling the love, we're feeling the vibes. And let's kick it off. Let's do a roundtable of intros. So I'll start us off and I'll kick it off. I'm Blue Eye Queen. I'm a digital content creator and I make artwork on the blockchain. So I have 3 collections on Magic Eden right now. So I convert handmade paintings into NFTs on the blockchain, and I curate and I cultivate and I help other artists and leaders get themselves online in any capacity as possible. It's super fun. So I'm going to pass the mic over and have you do a quick intro and what you're about and maybe share a little special something about what you're doing for Valentine's Day.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm Vandana Dillon. I'm a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, a Reiki master, sound healer, and an entrepreneur. I teach my business, Awaken to Yoga, is out of Sunken Gardens here in St. Petersburg. It's a botanical garden. It's almost 100 years old. And I'm also the founder of the St. Pete Yoga Fest. So it's a community yoga festival, just celebrating all things yoga, to introduce people to yoga, or just, we have all kinds of yoga teachers and the Florida Yoga Teachers Association that I'm president of. It's all about, getting out the word of yoga, authentic yoga. So that's basically what I do.
Yeah.
Oh, and Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
So I do have a special Valentine's tonight. I'm offering a candlelight yin yoga class with sound healing. So Crystal Bowls, 5:30 here. Believe it or not, we're in the
we're in the facility.
In the facility where I teach. This is not where I teach, but
putting the energy here.
Yeah, but next door, 1799 Central Avenue in Journey into Fitness. There's a beautiful yoga studio. So I'm teaching that tonight. If you want to come on down, it's only $20.
Thank you. Amazing. Oh, so good. All right, Caitlin, we're going to pass the baton to you.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. First of all, I had no idea that you are the founder of St. Pete Yoga Fest. That feels so cool to meet you. I am also a yoga teacher.
Oh, that's why I wanted you to connect.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. So I am Caitlin Whitmoyer. I am the owner of Hand and Health Wellness, and I also co-own and run Thread Education. I'm a former teacher and school leader, and I made this transition into wellness coaching and consulting about 3 years ago. And I'm excited to share a little bit more about that story today and exactly what brought me into this field. But I help my clients in a couple different ways. The first being just one-on-one coaching. And I work primarily with people who are feeling just totally stuck in their journeys, career-wise, health-wise. And we work to come up with a succinct plan that involves mind, body, and spirit to get you back on the path that is authentically yours. And I also help budding entrepreneurs who want to start their own business that are coming from the education world. And I help them get their businesses up and running, as I've done that successfully twice with both of my businesses. So that's what's exciting and coming up for me this year. I'm leaning more into that. But yeah, I'm super excited to just talk through all the things this morning, all things wellness and health and education. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And maybe this is a perfect opportunity for the two of you to have a little sideline. Yeah. It's amazing that she knew about you. And
I know.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah. Have you been to the yoga festival before?
I have not been yet, but I know about it. Every year, like, it comes up on my Facebook page, and I've always thought, like, I should go. I think, honestly, I've had a bit of fear of going. I don't know why. I think, like, before I became a yoga teacher, I just was a little bit insecure about my practice. And, like, there's always that comparison that we have. And, but now I feel I'm definitely coming this year, especially now that I know you. And I feel even more like confident that I could participate in something like that. So I'm super excited to attend this year.
Yeah, well,
That's
let's
awesome.
let's dive into that then. We have all these amazing viewers coming in. We have 12 live. We have multiple people chatting. So we'll grab some comments from folks. But yeah, this is like a great refresh, like wellness and health. And I personally I pray multiple times a day. I find relief in meditation. I studied Reiki in Bali. So when I heard about the different specialties and the services that you do, I was thinking these are the right people to have for today, because we need to be able to readjust ourselves and recalibrate. And sometimes we need guidance from others to do that, because you're just not sure. You've never had that awareness. So I'm going to do what's called a round table. So I'll ask a question here first, and then I'll mute our mic so you don't get that background sound. And then we'll have the same question for you as well. So let's do it. All right. So, all right, why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey into yoga and what that can, how did it start? How did it fold? Because you're your own boss, and that is, that's you're an entrepreneur, and not everyone can evolve into that. So you want to give us a little bit of your history and how you got started and why you became your own boss?
Okay. I became my own boss really because it's just the best way for me, as my personality is. I'm kind of a leader, which I didn't know that, when I was younger. So it just kind of evolved into that and into wanting to have my own vision. And I think Sunken Gardens really came out of, just wanting to be in the most beautiful setting for my yoga classes, because we're actually in the garden, so we're in front of waterfalls. I mean, it's like being in a jungle, and it's just so extremely beautiful and healing in the garden. I've been teaching there. This is my 17th year, so I know I look young, but yeah. Story, it kind of came through. I was an actor before, a professional actor, and I went to NYU and worked in New York for 15 years. And I actually got into yoga through acting. We would do yoga as a warm up at the Purple Rose Theater in Michigan. Which you might know. We're both from Michigan.
Both from Michigan.
Yeah, we would do yoga as a warm up, and eventually I just started getting into it more. I just loved it, and it just brought me a sense of calm and a sense of groundedness that I didn't have in my regular life, especially being an actor and running around New York City. Ooh. So when I went back to New York, the thing that really launched me into doing yoga was doing a yoga class at Jivamukti Yoga Studio in New York City. Sharon Gannon they're the founders of Jivamukti Yoga, and they incorporate everything, like the chanting, the spiritual. I mean, they're vegan. I'm not a vegan, but they have so much like message behind their yoga, and I just felt so amazing after I did the yoga practice. I was like, okay, why do I feel more myself than ever before?
I love that.
So that's kind of what led me into doing yoga, into teaching yoga. I wanted to do something meaningful after I had my daughter. I switched from being an actor to being a yoga teacher because it meant more to me. It just kind of was a natural progression.
Yeah, it's a beautiful transformation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love your story.
Yeah, and the acting has helped because I can speak, I'm not shy in front of all the yoga students and everything like that. So it definitely did help for, my presence and projecting my voice, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're certainly glowing, and you can tell that you love what you do just from how it reflects off you. And yes, Caitlin, we'd love to hear from you. How did your journey inspire, and what made you want to get involved in this?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I'm back. Very similarly, my journey started with yoga as well. I was working a job that required a lot of me. I was in education, and the pace that I was going and the work that I was doing just was not sustainable. And I was actually starting to get very sick. And when I quit that job, I was kind of forced to hit the brakes and take some time off. And I didn't really know if I would be going back or what I would be doing. But I decided to just take the next step that felt best for me. And for years, I had wanted to get my yoga teacher certification. I've been a practitioner of yoga for, decades. And so I decided that that's what I would do. And that training, so much of what you do in a yoga teacher training is not just learning yoga, but you're learning about yourself. And it's beautiful. I know you guys are nodding like, yeah, have you done a yoga teacher training? Not obviously, I know you have, but Melissa, have you? Yeah.
Well, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I do bedtime yoga. I'm a disabled person, so the best I can do is yoga in the bed, like kind of like a rolling around. But I would love to be able to find ways for my body to be able to do what the both of you do, because I know that there's probably opportunities if you really look into it, right?
For sure. And chair yoga.
Oh, yeah.
I've taught
Chair yoga.
chair yoga for a long time
Okay.
at All Children's Hospital.
It works. Okay.
Oh my God, it's amazing. And also, yeah, I've actually taught teacher trainings too. I've done 7 of them.
Wow.
But so I do like training teachers as well. And you're absolutely right that it's so much about getting to know who you are and like unlearning all those things that that you were conditioned to be, and that's not who you are, right? So I think I love that you're sharing that part of your story. That's because then it makes you evolve into the person that you're meant to be. And then I'm getting goosebumps. And then
love the goosebumps.
So I'll give it back to you.
Yeah. Oh, good deal. Yes. Thank you for asking me the questions too. I mean, yes, I would love to be able to grow and help people in all the ways, mind, body, and soul. And that's what I think I do with my artwork.
Yeah.
Is I make it very emotional and very expressionist, and people find reactions from it, good, bad, all of the things. But that's the point, is you want people to have some type of emotion. So I welcome those challenges. And that's why I think having wellness is so important, because if you're the person that's welcoming challenges, you need to be able to let it go and shed it off too, so that your mental health is important,
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's move into some of these facilities and some of these trainings that you do. And do you want to share with us about how you started St. Pete Yoga Festival and what that entails? When is it? I'm new to the area. How do we get involved?
Sure. So the St. Pete Yoga Fest, I started in 2012. It was a while ago. It hasn't been every single year. So kind of like me, I'm not completely consistent, but I've had, I think now there's been 8 of them in that time. And of course, over COVID, things happened. The last one we had scheduled for October 19th, and it was postponed for the hurricanes. Yeah. So we had to postpone it until December 8th, which was interesting. It was good in some ways because we had some of the snowbirds, but also just, I think people were still dealing with the hurricanes and everything, and just the damage. It's just been kind of horrendous down here. But yeah, so the next one is going to be November 8th, and I'm not revealing the location yet, but we have a new, even bigger venue than Sunken Gardens, which is going to be amazing. And I'm hoping that you'll be involved, Caitlin, and you too.
Oh my gosh, I'd love to do some art. Yeah,
Oh
could
my
do some
God.
live
Because
painting.
it's not just yoga. Like we
Right.
have wellness, we have artists, we have musicians. I mean, it's just a celebration of life, really, of joy and yoga and all things creative and health and wellness. But the way I got into it really was because of my teacher. My teacher's from India, Mata Amritanandamai Devi. She's not the one I got my yoga certification with, but she's the one who is responsible for my real spiritual journey. And so she comes to the United States a couple times a year, even though she lives in India. And so I went to travel to see her, and that's how I got my name, Vandana. Actually, she gave me my name. It means friend of God and worthy of worship, which is actually, they give you a name so that you grow into it. So that's kind of been my journey. But also her whole kind of mantra is love and serve. So I just started finding ways where I could give back to the community, and that kind of evolved into the yoga festival and bringing everybody together. And then some of the other service projects I do, like I did 6 years I taught at All Children's for free for the kids, so I was working with them in their rooms and And then I do Karma Kitchen at the Ronald McDonald House, where we make food for the families that are staying there. So that's really how it started. And then it's just evolved. I mean, just taken on so many different, we've had international people come. We focused more, one year we just focused on all local people, but we've had people from India come, from all over the world, really, LA and stuff. So yeah, it's really fun. I hope you guys will both be involved.
Yes. Well, you heard the alpha here first. November 8th. It's right around my birthday time. I would love to do some painting.
And
here.
eight, right?
Yeah.
On the side is infinity. So
Infinity.
It's a very
I know
auspicious
Caitlin
day.
was definitely wanting to jump on this as well. I love it. Very inspired by that. Congratulations to keep something running for that long. That is a tremendous amount of strategy and logistics. So kudos. There's the alpha, November 8th, y'all. So we'll add that in the wrap up of our blog post today. And before we jump into the next question, let's just do a little GM for everyone saying hi to us in the chats. We've got folks that are tuning in on Twitter, on Instagram. We have TikTok, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. They are all running a million miles an hour right now. And so we just want to say GM. We're sorry we're not writing everybody back on their comments, but we are going to kick up the questions on the screen so that people can participate and be involved. So let's pass this over to Caitlin. And one of the questions that came in through is mind and body connection is a big overall for your health. So what practices would you recommend for those with balance? Can you give some examples and how that helps people feel good and feel well balanced about different things that they might be experiencing?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this question. And thank you to whoever asked it. I think, honestly, this looks different for every single person, right? It's about understanding that we aren't just humans. Like, even though we use this part of our bodies all day, every day, we think so much. We have this whole entire, from the neck down, that stores data, that stores emotions and beliefs and thoughts. And we have to recognize that and embody that. So embodiment is a big part of what I teach my clients. And so it just starts with the recognition that, you feel from here down. And even though our heads can feel heavy and we can oftentimes feel stress from here up, that what you're noticing in your body below it's all data, it's all information. So it's about just tuning into that. And I find that one of the best practices to do is just to take a pause. And it starts with just, if someone has never done this, it's taking that first pause. So maybe it's in the morning before you start your day, or maybe it's midday or evening, and just noticing where you are in space. Like, I often like to start my guided meditations with your eyes open, because I want people to recognize, like, you're not just, sitting in your chair. You're actually, your body is connected to the ground, and you're in your house, or you're wherever you are. Recognize that to bring yourself into the present moment. And then from there, go inward and, soften the eyes or close the eyes, take some breaths, and then acknowledge what you're feeling on the inside. So you'll notice pretty quickly, if you do that, what's coming up. You might notice, like, oh, my neck feels tight, or my heart feels, like this, or my feet hurt, or whatever that is. And it's just bringing awareness to that. And that's where the power begins. The power of transformation begins.
Thank you. I do the same every morning. Do you have a morning routine where you just kind of stop and let the world kind of take you?
Yeah, I have I am still drinking coffee, to kind of jumpstart my brain. But but I do. I have my quiet time in the morning before my daughter gets up, before I get on email or Facebook or any of those things. Just meditate. Sometimes I use a formal meditation practice called I Have Integrated Mitra meditation technique that I actually teach with my teacher Alma around the United States. So that's a 20-minute practice and a 35-minute practice. I don't do that every day, I have to be honest. But just like you said, taking the pause and just really being intentional about how I start my morning, because I don't want to just jump in and be like, bombarded by everything. Because it really helps to set your day so that it unfolds very, I don't know, mindfully, I guess is the right word. So, yeah.
Thank you. Both very, very amazing answers and great advice. A lot of the folks in the chat are really happy to hear that this is a common practice. It doesn't have to feel overwhelming. It's something that each person has different experiences on how they can do their own wellness. Because, when you first practice, even meditation, I hear people's feedback, like, I can't stop thinking in my head, and it just takes time to start to organize those thoughts and just really calm your body down. It took me a full year to be able to do that, but I was being taught by somebody in Bali how to do that, how to reset, how to take the pain that I'm feeling in my body from my disability and actually saying, this isn't pain. This is just your form of life. This is your body. And so that was now how I'm able to get up every day and not feel like things are hurting. Instead, I'm just realizing that everyone has a challenge that they're facing, whether that's physical, emotional. And when you have strong wellness and you're balancing those priorities, it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. And so I'll kick it off to the next question, and I'll pass the mic to you. So how do you manage your self-care and avoid burnout? Because it seems like maybe you have multiple classes each day with different people. Like, how do you manage those unique energies and not feel like it's consuming you?
Well, that is a really important question. And one of my students, who's also a close friend of mine, we have this saying, self-care or self-destruct. Because really, especially as healers, and I see it all the time, I see it a lot with yoga teachers, they get so caught up with teaching so much that they stop doing their own practice. And that is really not good. It's not good for you as a person, because you are going to get burnt out. You're just going to feel like you're giving and not receiving. And I know probably, Caitlin, for you also, have those other modalities, those healing modalities, and those are important too, to get those in. So for me, I do my own yoga practice. I like going to people's classes with teachers. I'm kind of picky, but I go to people's classes to do a practice with other people because I like the energy. I'm also, Reiki. I love receiving Reiki, and I love sound healing. Like that, to me, is a big one. Yoga Nidra is huge. I used to do Yoga Nidra multiple times a day, and that's the yoga of sleep. Caitlin's nodding her head. It's like hypnotherapy, basically. Kind of reprograms your brain and also just helps you to let go of stress. And it's a really fast technique. So I even use an app on my phone. I like it more in person, but I can recommend an app for people. I am Yoga Nidra. Community Desai has it, and it's like $3.99. It'll be the best $3.99 you've ever used, because I've used it for years, and it's really helped me. So I need to tune into myself, like Caitlin was saying about your body, like just checking in with yourself, and like, I know when I'm not operating, from
full
a good
capacity.
place.
Full capacity.
Yeah.
So you can feel it.
It's so important to do that. I'm sure Caitlin would agree.
Yeah.
So
you probably meet all different types of folks with different energy levels as well.
Oh yeah. That is one of the things, is like when you're doing energy work, and especially when you're an empath, like I am,
comes right in.
And that happened a lot at All Children's too, until I learned to really, Kimberly Rose, she's a good friend of mine. She really helped me just learn how to kind of block that, not take it all in, but do a real grounding technique, and then letting go after the sessions, because I would take in all of that, and not even just from the kids themselves, but the parents, all that fear and panic. It's a lot, but yeah, absolutely.
Those are major points, and I'm not an instructor, but I do